and we're going to do a hands-on piece when she's done speaking. And we have a good amount of nippers here, so if you get a chance, we're going to have, also it'll run into the break time if you want to go over and practice. And her goal is to not take any of these plates home. Oh! Which is also a plus. And she also has a great display over there of an overwhelming number of pieces that she brought from home, some being very, very fragile too. So just be careful when you're walking around the table. This is from, Robyn has a great website that is RobynAbramsMosaics.com. And it all started with a magazine article that she clipped and saved in her idea box. A table made from bits of broken china caught her eye, and she was determined to give it a try one day. 20-odd years, an interior painting business, and numerous oil paintings later, here she is. Without any formal art training, she was able to follow her passion. She has been creating mosaics for 13 years, 33 years since that magazine clipping was placed in the box. And yes, the first few pieces were created with broken china. So if you've never worked with broken china, this is a great opportunity to have a hands-on experience with it, and I'm sure she'd be happy to have contact her later too. Okay. So here's Robyn.
All right. Hi, everybody. I owe a debt of gratitude to China because that's what got me started on this journey that has, really captured my passion and my love for mosaics for years. And what's special about it is it was just the starting point. And then I found the vast variety of materials that people use. And, ever since then it's been a great journey. All right. I want to start off by talking about one particular person who brought the broken china to another level, and his name is Antonio Gaudi. How many people have been to Barcelona? Okay, so people have been breaking plates and decorating things for years, for centuries. But I think his work really brought it to the forefront. And he created his work during the Art Nouveau period. Everything was very flowy and organic and natural, so there were no straight lines. Everything was curved. And after building the structures, he wanted them to be protected and also colorful. So how do you take a tile or a plate on a curved surface and have it go around? He smashed it. He literally smashed it and showed people how it could conform to the space. So his work was around the turn of the century, and because he was in Spain, the term hadn't been coined yet, assiette, which is what we call it for China. Flash forward a little, like to the 1930s, we had this gentleman in Chartres in France who created, he has a whole chapel, home, inside, outside, completely covered with shards of things that he picked up along the way. I think he lived near a ceramic factory. And he would just pick them up and start decorating. Now, of course, we know that there are many other people who created these gardens. We have Isaiah. There's somebody in San Miguel Allende. The Chapel of Jimmy Ray. Have any of you been to any other gardens besides Isaiah's? There's one in Luna Park. Yeah. Okay. So they're very inspiring. Just to take a little bit of history and preserve it. And I think that's why I like to collect the china too. That's part of the fun. Being the scavenger, being the person who goes to the antique festivals or the yard sales and finding bits and pieces of things that you can save and put in their life to. I think we're all that way a little bit. Being mosaic artists, we like to take things and make them beautiful, broken things and make them beautiful. So I guess I'll show you these boards because I made them up so everyone can see some of the different ways to cut the plates. The edges of the plates are generally where you find most of your pattern. And when you cut the plates, they will form the curve if you maintain, the pattern. If you want a straight line to create, something, if you need to make a border or whatever, you would have to alternate the way you lay the plate down, sort of an horizontal thing. And that way you can get it to go straight. There have been many people, Emma Biggs is somebody whose name I'll mention because she created a piece called Made in England, and it's beautiful. She took all the bottoms of all the china plates that have where they were created, and she made a beautiful, beautiful mosaic with all the bits and pieces from underneath the plate. So it says, Staffordshire, wherever they were. And that's a really nice piece to look up. The plates, because of their curves, I think I'll just put this back up there. Because of the curves of the plates, I generally use thin set, tile mastic, whichever. You can either get it in a powder form. I prefer to use it in this form because it's kind of has a thickness to it, and you can tint it, and you can layer your plates, and they're not flat. So you have some here that area that's very thin, and then you have this lip here. So if you want to get the most out of your plate, you have to cut it in a certain way, preserve the integrity of the design, and use thin set to apply it to surfaces. At any time, if anyone has a question, stop me, and I will show you or answer your question. The nippers that I find to be, I don't even know the name of these. They're really good for small tea and monoliths. What? Monolith. Okay. They're not my favorites because they have such a wide stance, but they're really good for cutting plates, especially plates that are dense. And some plates like ceramic plates break really easily because they're more brittle. Anyway, how many of you have broken plates before? Lots of people. Oh, okay. I'm going to pick one here that has a center design. Small. Okay, now, if you have a center design and you want to keep it exactly intact, the best way to do it is by using a ring saw, a Taurus ring saw, and you cut through. I have over here, there's a little black. Oh, it was here. Okay, can't find it. Anyway, there's a little piece of a black plate that you could only see the rim of. And that was because there was a rooster in the center, and I wanted to keep the rooster intact. But if you don't want to keep it intact and you want to break it, the best way to do it, here we go. Oh, also, something to think about. If your center design has like a bird or a figurine, you don't want to aim it so that you crack the head off or you take apart. That's, you want to try to do it so that you aim to do it in a place that's a little off that center. Here goes. Okay, that actually worked very nice. right. Yeah. What? All right. What I want to do is break one that's going to break like half. Hopefully this one. All right. These are pretty brittle. This happens again, it's going to be a miracle. I'm going to use this. All right. Usually the plates break, and you put your nippers in all the way, and you give it a nice quick snap, and that's how they usually break. I guess these are really strong. All right, now, if you want to maintain the pattern, the best way to do it is to keep cutting it in half, okay? And you keep it intact, and you lay it down side by side. Sometimes if you use a paper plate, it will, because it has sides on it, it will keep it in place. If you want to just cut a little bit off of it, then don't put this in all the way, just do it on the edge. It seems to cut better that way. You keep going around. Now, this is your plate. If you wanted to keep it, the pattern still intact, you just keep cutting it in half. And then you keep going around and cut it in half again. At some point, you might say, gee, I really like this border on the top, and I think I might want to use it in a different place. So once you get your tiles down to small enough, you might want to cut off the top ribbon. So to keep your pattern intact. Okay.
Can you show us how that broke?
You see how it's curved like this? It's best to get in there so you can kind of make it a little bit flatter. All right, that's doable. All right.
So that's cutting off the rim on the bottom.
Yeah, a little bit. And everything's like you want to keep it. Okay, so now I think I'll take off the top rim because I'll use it for something else. Okay. So now you have the top ribbon, and then you have, you have your pattern. So when you're building your structure, whatever, you might put this on as a border, but you have two different types of tessera to use. And I guess that's the most important thing is, making the best use of the plate, because there's lots of different little pieces. They're all special. And if you want to get the most out of it. So this usually going to include tissue. And I luckily have a tissue. So the earliest pieces that I made were all with broken china, and you can see some of them up there. And they're, I think I'll show you this one because after taking Emma Biggs' class, it was really exciting because she encouraged everyone in her class to look at these tiles in a different way. not just for a flat surface, use their structure, make things interesting. And so my friend and I started making these funky tissue boxes and had fun with them. But you could see that it's mixed, it's a mixed media, but they're not just laying flat. And in order to achieve that, of course, you know, you need to use the thin set.
Do you do multiple sides when you're sitting down and working on it, or you just do like one side of that?
Well, the important thing to know is that when you're working on something that's upright, you know, you kind of have to use masking tape, because even when you place it on your piece, even though this is thick, I'm going to make a little mixture.
What is in the top?
This is it's called thin set.
Oh, that's the
Tile mastic,
Okay.
and you can buy it in a big container at any hardware store, and it's kind of gooey. This is what I use to lay tile because it has like a thickness to it. It's not drippy.
Did you say that?
Can you say that a little louder?
I thought you mentioned a tint.
Yes. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Right? Okay.
How fast does it dry?
Overnight.
Can I make one mention about the big difference between thin set and mastic? Thin set is a cement base, where mastic is a plastic base, so they dry very differently. Thin set dries from the inside out, where mastic dries from the outside in. So if you use something really, really thick, the center of mastic sometimes takes months and months to dry, and so it still is a little bit movable.
Mm-hmm.
I had a construction company, so I know.
Okay, thank you for that.
But
Yes, thank you.
it's something, we in the trade have stopped using mastic because it does not dry as well.
Okay, so this is, I have another one. Most of them say tile adhesive, mastic.
But it doesn't have a cement in it.
Okay.
That's the big difference.
Yeah. All right, so most of the things that I do, all the things that I do are for indoor only. So apparently, if you wanted to do something, you need a cement-based one for outdoors.
Yes.
So that's something to keep in mind if you want to do something for the garden. So I did do a mosaic bowling ball, put it in my garden, and